About today is how passion is your why. Your passion is that deep belief that fulfill your happiness. It can tap into your whole future, but you gotta unlock the keys. My passion is to speak to people's life and unlock that future that they already have inside of them. But it wasn't always like that. I got a question for y'all. As a childhood, have you ever struggled with something so bad? Where had you lost, confused, scared, and afraid? Raise your hand. Okay, yeah, me too. But something I want to tell you. Some of the most strong trees grow in the wilderness. That means you keep giving the world your best fight and you will come out strong. I remember at the age of 11, struggling to read three-letter words. Cat, hat, sack, none of that. I remember just seeing kids run around just like this, playing policeman, Batman. I was just lost, trying to see what the world meant. Crying every time my parents left. Where my mama at, where my daddy at? Just saying, what are they? Because they the only people that understood me. And my mom said, son, you intelligent, you just gotta know how to read. And she did what every mother is supposed to do. She got me help. I started being tutored by a lady named Cindy. Once a week, and she started sounding out. I was like, man, this is frustrating. She's like, no, just keep practicing. I got you. I promise it's gonna be okay. And then next thing you know, the end of the year was over. I got sad. Why? Because she was only supposed to tutor me for 1 year. She said, hold on, I'm gonna see if I can tutor her for another year. She came to my mom and said, yes, I'll do that. Next thing you know, I was happy. Don't you know, like that good food that's in front of me, you do all the dance. I was doing all the dance, all the dance. And at the end of the year, it was a banquet that they put on for the kids. Each kid had their book to read. And when I was reading, I was getting up, shaking in my boots. Like stay shaking, like wood. And I was like, wow. I was shaking and reading, sweating bullets. I couldn't believe it. Next thing you know, I did it. I finally read in front of people. People got up and clapped for me. I felt like Jay-Z, baby. And next thing you know, that was a turn for everything. My mom did a newspaper interview about the success of the program and the success it had on my life. I went from being a crybaby to being vice president of my senior class. I went from lost and afraid to vice president of National Honor Society. I went from just being just so scared, timid, just in a minute, just didn't know myself, to accepted to 13 different colleges and universities. So I stood up for myself. And what I learned was determination. That's what she instilled in me. That's what we got to instill in some. Like that passion and that why is everything. And I remember 2 years later, I was at Alabama A&M. It was the best and worst 2 years of my life. I was knowing people. I was also known as 2 Chainz because I was fly, you know. And I couldn't believe it. I was just on campus, knowing Miss A&M, knowing the frat, knowing the fraternity. Then my second year came. Turned for the worst. I lost my father to stage 4 lung cancer. It took me through every emotion. I couldn't believe it. I was hurt, confused, lost and afraid. But I knew I couldn't stay right there because my future depended on me. So I had to tap into my spirituality, and that made me pick up my manhood. I want to share something with you. Change your middle name to greatest because it is inside of you. So I had to tell myself that greatness is inside of me. I had to believe that. So 7 years later, I moved to Atlanta, Georgia to pursue my goals and dreams. I only had dreams to motivate, inspire, and network. I didn't know this was going to turn this way, to be an empowerment speaker, growth development coach. And I just released my first book, September the 8th. I am motivation, I am success. And my passion to speak is to speak about mental health awareness that's in our community. I want to change it to a normal conversation when you with your boys watching the game, when you with your girls at the nail shop, when you with your friends and family playing outside. This is something serious. Do y'all know what happened 3 days ago? In Austin, Texas, an 18-year-old shot 2 other kids. Want to know why? Because he was being bullied. So we gotta change the narrative in our society. I challenge everybody. Hey, raise y'all hand if y'all want to make a difference with me today. Yeah, faith is real, but we gotta be that change we want to see. We gotta step and up the mountain. We gotta keep going. The universe left us here for a reason, to change the narrative, to change, be great. We got greatness inside of us. We got worth inside of us. And as I land this plane, I want to tell you a quote by Dr. Martin Luther King. Have deep belief in your own dignity, in your own worth, in your own somebodyness. Don't let anybody make you feel like you are nobody. I am Mr. Overcomer. Every mountain that I come across, I get over, and I also show people path over the mountain. It's time to step up. And also follow me on IG, Mr. Overcomer, and Mr. Overcomer, MR Overcomer.